Hello and welcome to Merlin's Manor. Today I'm going to be showing you how to play Slay the Spire, the board game, which is a deck-building roguelike game based off of the video game Slay the Spire. Now I'm going to go ahead and teach the basics of how to play the game, and then I'm going to jump in and play through Act 1 to show you in more detail how to play. And then at a later date I'll probably go ahead and post a playthrough of the rest of the game in Act 2 and Act 3. Let's go ahead and get started with the setup. You're going to set out all these card decks in these spaces. You're going to have the monster deck set up here, and you're going to have to shuffle that up and put it there. You're going to have the summons deck, which does not get shuffled, as those you're just going to look through and put them out when you need them. You're going to have the elites, which are going to get shuffled up and put here, and you're going to shuffle up your event deck and put it there. Here you have the curses, which are going to be shuffled, and here you have status cards, which don't need to be shuffled, and then here you have the days cards, which also do not need to be shuffled. And then you're going to get your starter deck set up with all of the cards that have this gray border around them. And you're going to make sure that they are on their non-upgraded side. This is the way that you can tell the difference between the upgraded side is going to have that green right there, as well as you don't have that gray border around it anymore. So have those all set up and shuffled together and placed here as your draw pile. You're also going to set up your player board here with 3 energy, 0 block, and full HP. And if you'll notice, there is a dot on the 3 here and a dot on the 0 there to remind you where to set up there. I'm playing the Watcher, and so she is going to have this token set on the neutral spot here to start out with. Now on the act, you're going to choose the Act 1 board, and there's 2 different sides to this that have a slightly different setup. Just choose one of those, and you're going to randomly place out these circles with the white circles placed on the white spots. And you're just going to flip them all over as you put them out here. This provides a little bit of randomization for how the board is going to be set up each time. And then you're going to take the dark circles, and you're going to do the same thing on the dark spaces. And when you're done, the board will look something like this. You're also going to put the green boot down here at the bottom, as your first encounter is going to be here, and you're going to use this to move along the board. You're going to put your characters on these spots, putting one character on the bottommost spot, which I'm going to go ahead and use this as the bottom so that I have a little more space here. And then each character will go on a different spot there. Of course, we're playing solo here, so we just have the one character. And then you're going to choose a boss by rolling the die and going with the number that's on it. And it says in the top right-hand corner, this one is for a 5 or a 6 rolled. You're going to use this boss here, and so just put that right there in that section. That's the boss we're going to be facing for Act 1. There are Act 2 bosses and Act 3 bosses as well. Let's just go ahead and get this one out of the way. In the solo mode, you're also going to gain the solo relic to start out with. This is going to be a relic. When you roll a 4 or 5, you're going to get 1 block. And on a 6, it's going to trigger a die relic ability. And the next thing you're going to do is you're going to gain a Niao's Blessing for each player. And you're always going to do the first option here, which is gain 3 money and 3 cards from your reward deck. And so you just flip these over like so. Oh, and I got a golden ticket, which is a really good thing to get here. And so you can choose any one of these, and the golden ticket, you go ahead and discard that to the bottom of the deck, and you're going to get a rare reward. A random rare comes out, and that is an option that I can get. And so you choose one of these 3 cards to gain, and why not? I'm going to gain Ragnarok. And I'm just going to go ahead and add that to your draw deck, and the others go away to the bottom of your reward deck. And then you choose one of the options here below. Add a random rare card to your deck, transform a card, or upgrade 2 random cards and gain a curse. When you transform a card, you're going to get rid of a card from your deck and get a random card from the top of your reward deck here. Or I can add a random rare card to my deck. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and add the random rare card. Let's just see what we get here. Establishment. Start of turn. Cards you retain last turn cost 1 less energy this turn. So I'm going to leave this here because I want to go over something in a minute. Let's go ahead, and then now that we've done both of those, this can go away. You won't need that for the rest of the game. And that is the setup for the game. Now let's go over the icons here on the board. These question marks mean you're going to draw from this deck. The standard monster symbol here means you're going to draw from this deck and you're going to go into a battle there. The campfire symbol means that you are going to be able to either rest and gain 3 HP, or you'll be able to smith and go ahead and upgrade one of your cards by taking it out, flipping it to the other side, and putting it back in the sleeve like so. Come to one of these, you're going to go ahead and place out this marketplace, and you're going to be able to buy potions and relics or cards, and even be able to get rid of cards from your deck by paying your gold for that. Come here, you're going to be able to get a relic from this deck. Here you're going to face off against an elite monster. And then, of course, when you get to the end, you're going to have the boss. So that's all the symbols you need to know from the board here. Now let's go over some card types that you're going to be able to have as you go through the game. And there are 3 card types. There are skills, there are attacks, and there are powers. And skills and attacks play basically the same way. You put it out and you immediately do whatever's on the card, but there's some ways that they're going to be interacted with differently in the game. And some of the skills will give you block, which basically means you just come up 1 on the block here, and you cannot generally share block unless the card tells you can do that. And so that's how skill cards work. Attack cards often, you guessed it, will attack using these symbols here. And then you have power cards, which these, when you play them, you're going to put them up here, and they are going to have an ongoing ability throughout the rest of that combat, unless they are one that goes away after a certain thing happens. Now there's some keywords I want to go over that are on these cards. You have exhaust, which means once you've played it, it goes over here to your exhaust pile, and it will not get added back to your deck for the rest of the game unless you have a card that does that. Retain allows you to keep a card that didn't get used this round for the next round. Usually any cards that you don't use will go to your discard pile, but retain you can keep until you use them. Ethereal means it goes away if you don't discard or use it. And one card that has the ethereal on it is this Daze card, which is a bad card you don't really want in your hand. You just kind of hold on to that in your hand and it goes away at the end of the round. There are also some cards that you'll have for your character that will have ethereal on them. You'll want to use them, or else you won't get the chance to use them because they'll go away. Now every player also has a starting relic. If you'll notice, the Watcher has at start of combat, she's going to gain a miracle token, which means that she's going to have this token that's going to give her an energy whenever she plays that. The Ironclad is going to gain a health at the end of every combat. The Silent is going to be able to draw 2 extra cards on its first turn. And the Defect is going to be able to invoke a lightning at the start of every combat. Now let's go over battle. What's going to happen in a battle is you are going to draw. For your first encounter of Act 1, you have a special card, set of cards that you're going to draw 1 for each character. And then after that, you'll be drawing from the main deck here. And then you're going to go ahead and put a cube on the HP level. Sometimes there will be a card that will have a secondary area over here where you're going to put like a 10 or a 20 health if they have more health. And so you'll put 1 there, and you'll put 1 over here wherever you see the gold kind of outlined area there. And you're going to draw 1 monster for each player, and then if there's any spawns, you would spawn for that character there next to the person that spawned it. At the beginning of each round of combat, you are going to roll this die, and then that's going to affect everything that needs a die roll for that turn. Some monsters have a die roll, like this one does here, which tells you what they're going to do on their turn. Let's go ahead and look at a few more of these. These ones are just basic, and there's where you see where you're going to add minions had we drawn this one here. And we don't have any in the starting ones, but sometimes there's going to be squares. Let's go ahead and take a look in here and get that out. In the case of this kind of monster, you're going to start here, and you're going to move down each round, like so. If they have some extra text on here, they're going to tell you what's going to happen along with that. And if the box is gray, that means it's going to happen 1 time, and then you'll never cycle to that area again. Of course, this one doesn't have a gray box. And so that is how you handle putting monsters out, and what's going to happen at the beginning of each round. So you're going to then draw 5 cards from your deck, and these are going to be your starting hand of cards. You're going to play cards using energy. The energy cost is in the top left corner here. They range from 0 energy all the way up to, I believe, 5 is the biggest one that I've seen so far. There may be more there. And you'll be playing those cards, discarding them as you play them. And then at the end of your turn, you're going to discard all the cards that you didn't use unless they have retain on them. You can attack enemies in any row, and you can only block for yourself. And enemies in your row are generally going to only attack you unless they have an area of attack. And the area of effect symbol is going to look like this here, this little explosion symbol here. So if you see that, it's going to attack all characters. And if you have that, you're going to be able to attack all characters in a single row. Enemies will lose block at the start of their turn. They'll perform their actions that are listed on the card. And then you are going to lose your block that you have left over after they perform their actions. Then you'll regain your 3 energy, and you'll keep going until you've defeated all of the monsters in that room. At the end of battle, your HP does not reset, except for the fact that the Ironclad does get to heal 1. You're going to gain the rewards listed on the card in front of your row. And in the case of an elite battle or a boss battle, then everyone's going to gain the rewards from the elite or the boss there. Now let's go over a few extra icons real quick. You have weakness, which looks like this here. That's going to cause the damage done by the next attack, by that enemy that you apply it to be 1 less, and then it will go away. You have vulnerable, which is going to double the next attack, and then it will go away. You have block, which allows them to block by 1. And then you have strengthen, which adds 1 to your attacks. And strengthen does not go away. There are a few other things that we'll go over as the game goes on, as they come up, but those are the basic symbols that you're going to need to know to get started here. Now let's talk about what happens at the end of the act. After you've defeated the boss, you will heal fully at that point. You'll shuffle your reward deck. You will not shuffle the rare deck. And then you'll set up for Act 2 the same as Act 1, except on the Act 2 board. Now you lose the game if any player ever gets to 0 HP, and you win by making it through Act 3, or you can choose to play a shorter game. You will unlock new cards by marking off 1 box, plus 1 box per boss beaten, and you're going to do this for each character. And I'll go over the market and how the boss fight works when I get there, and there'll be timestamps listed down below for those if you want to skip to those. Otherwise, I highly recommend following through and seeing how the game plays out. Okay, let's go ahead and get started with our first battle here. I'm going to shuffle my starting deck here, which has 2 gold rewards in it because I got the ability to add 1, and 1 came up from that starting golden ticket there, so that was some good luck there. Now let's go ahead and jump into this combat. The Jaw Worm is going to have 8 health that we're going to have to deal with. And let's go ahead and roll this die to get started here. And we got a 3, which means on its turn it's going to do an attack of 2, and it's going to add 1 block for the next round. And so let's go ahead and start fighting this thing by drawing our first 5 cards. I've got a strike, a defend, Ragnarok came up, and establishment, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I start out with 1 miracle at the start of combat. Well, Ragnarok sounds like fun. I won't be able to block it all if I do it, though, is the problem. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. Okay, I'm going to play a Ragnarok for 3 energy. 1, 2, 3. It's going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 attack damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I am going to spend my miracle to get 1 energy. Then I'm going to defend for 1 block there. Now these are going to go away. And these are going to go away as well. And so I have almost killed it on its first turn. It's going to do 2 damage to me. 1, 2. The block soaked up 1 of it. And then it's going to add 1 block. Just like that. And now we go ahead and draw back up. Okay, I've drawn Vigilance, which the Watcher has some special things that go on with stances, where she can go to Calm, which doesn't do anything when she goes into Calm, but when she exits Calm, she'll get 2 more energy. And then Wrath, when she goes into Wrath, all of her attacks after that will be +1. But at the end of her turn, if she's still in Wrath, she's going to take 1 damage. And so I can definitely enter Calm and do 2 block. Let's go ahead and roll this die and see what's going to happen. So it's going to attack for 3 on its turn. I'm definitely going to do Calm. And I start with 3 energy, so use 2 of it to add 2 block. And then, you know what, I'm just going to double defend on this one. Spend that last energy so I can completely defend. And I'm going to get rid of 2 strikes and a defend. So on its turn, it's going to attack for 3. 1, 2, 3. That's soaked up by the block. It's going to lose its block. And that's the end of its turn. We're going to go back into our turn. We got 1, 2. We got to reshuffle here. Oh, and I'm in Calm. I forgot to move that there. Now when I exit Calm, I'll gain 2 energy. At the beginning of my turn, I get 3 energy to start out with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to go ahead and play Eruption for 1, 2. I'm going to exit Calm, so I'm going to get 2 back. And it's going to do an attack of 2 that happens before I enter Wrath. So 1, 2. And then Overkill, but Strike will now do 2 damage because of Wrath. It only needs 1, and it is dead. So that was the first battle there. All these cards can just come back together. You're going to switch back to neutral. And let's go ahead and resolve the rewards here. You get 1 coin. Going to get 1 potion, which I can gain 2 potions when I spend this one. And you can have a max of 3 potions in the game. And then 1 card reward, which again, whenever you see that symbol for a card reward, you're going to flip all of these over and choose 1 to add to your deck. You do not have to add a card to deck if you do not want to. In fact, sometimes the card options out there don't synergize very well with what you already have. And so in that case, you might not want to draw a card up. We have Consecrate here, which does an area effect damage to an entire row of 1, and it costs 0. We have Empty Body, which adds 2 block, and then you enter neutral, which is a good way to get out of stances sometimes. And this one is if you are in Calm, you'll draw 3 cards, or else you'll enter Calm, and it costs 1. I do like a free attack for an entire row. I also like to be able to get more block and to exit stances when I want to. And this one isn't too shabby either. I think I know for starting out the game, I'm going to go with Consecrate. That free attack is good for Act 1 and isn't terrible later on. Let's see what happens if you were to upgrade this card. It becomes an attack 2 for an entire row. So, could be useful. And keep in mind, the bosses and elites are always in a row. And so, that can be helpful to take on those bosses and elites. And then these go to the bottom here. Jawworm goes away, and we move forward to one of these, and one of the keys to playing well in this game is to choose your path wisely. And let's take a look at what we want to do. And now, while elites are tougher to face, they also give you better rewards, so we might want to try and make sure we hit an elite at some point. We don't have a lot of money, so we don't need to worry too much about hitting a shop early, although this shop, we wouldn't be able to take on this elite if we were to go that route. Let's try and path. I'm going to try and path through this elite, I think. And I like the idea of being able to upgrade a card, so let's go this path. We're going to come here, do an event. The event is Ominous Forge. Inside a small hut you find a forge. The tools are covered with dust, yet a fire roars in the furnace. And then you can do one of these 2 options here. You can gain a chest and roll the die. 1, 2, or 3, you gain a curse. Or you can upgrade a card and lose 2 HP. Let's go ahead and gain one of these. I'm getting Toolbox once per room, -1 to the die result. 1 can become a 6 with that. That can be useful if you're trying to trigger abilities. That can also be useful if you don't like what they're going to be doing that turn when they roll the dice. And so let's just go ahead and put this here. I'm going to have to come up with a different system eventually. Let's go ahead and do that for now. And then we roll this die and hope for a 4, 5, or 6. And we get a 3. That means we add a curse to our deck. The curse is unplayable and ethereal, so it's going to go away after the first time it comes up and clogs your deck. And so add that to the deck. But there are ways to get rid of cards, so I'm not that concerned at the moment. And then we move up to this one here, which is going to be a fight. And we're going up against the Looter. Now the Looter, this one's starting off with 9 health. And we put one of these on here, and all of these are gray, which means they only happen once. And at the end of the round, if you haven't beaten him, at the end of the third round, if you haven't beaten him, you'll lose 2 money, and he's going to leave. And so you'll get these rewards still, but you're going to lose that gold. And so we want to try and beat him as quickly as possible here. So let's shuffle up our deck and see what we can do. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Starting combat with a miracle. It's going to take a miracle. Okay, defend, which gives 1 shield. Vigilance, which gives 2 shield and enters calm. Ragnarok, eruption, and strike. This was a bad combination, actually, I think. Or is it? Play 2 vigilance. It's going to go down to 1. Nah, I can't play this. Wait, and then spend that. Goes down to 0. Get 2 back. I still only have 2. This is just... Things came up in the wrong way. Things came up slightly in the wrong way. I think I gotta use Vigilance, which is gonna give me the 2 block and enter calm. And I think this is gonna work out. And I'm gonna spend a miracle to get 1 more energy, and then no, it's not going to work out for me. Let's not do that. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. So spend a miracle to get 1 energy. And they're going to play eruption for 2, 1, 2. I'm going to leave calm, which is going to give me 2 energy, and go into wrath. And then I'm going to strike for 1, which is going to do 2 because of the fact that I'm in wrath. And then for my last energy, I'm going to defend for 1 more. And Ragnarok goes away. I would have loved for that to come up next round instead of this round. Okay, so at the end of the round, I'm going to take 1 damage because I'm in wrath. And then the Looter is going to do 2 damage, which is just going to be eaten up by the block. Okay. We got defend, consecrate, strike, defend, and strike. And he is going to do an attack of 3 and block for 1 going into the final round. Let's go ahead and start out with consecrate because it is free. So it costs me 0, and I'm going to go ahead and do 2 damage because I'm still in wrath. 1, 2. And I'm going to be 1 short of finishing him off. And I'm still in wrath and no way to get out of wrath in the moment. So let's do defend for 1. Let's do strike. 1, 2. And we're going to defend for 1 more. And can't use that strike. If I had 1 more strike, I could have just finished him off, but alas. So end of turn, I take 1 damage. And then he's going to do 1, 2, 3 damage to me. He's going to add 1 block. And we're going to go into this final round. Oh, I forgot to roll the die. Let's see what would have happened. So we would have had a 3 on the first round, which wouldn't have done anything. And then the second round, also a 3 wouldn't have done anything. Okay, so let's go ahead and go into this final round. I got 4 cards. I'm going to have to shuffle up for the final card. Pretty sure we got this guy, but let's see what happens. Okay, we got our curse, which is unplayable. We got defend, which is going to give a block, establishment, strike, and defend. Oh. I'm again sitting at not enough to defeat him. Let's go ahead and do Entropic Brew. to get 2 potions and see what it does for me. We got weaken or draw 3 cards, immediately play them in any order for 0 energy. Doesn't really help me much. Let's go ahead and put these up here. I mean, I could use this and he'd be dead. There's no way I'm not drawing an attack card. But that seems like a waste of that card. It really does. Oh, let's roll a die and see what happens. 6. I can trigger the die relic ability, which means I get 1 block. I really don't want to lose the 2 gold. But I may just have to lose the 2 gold. We don't have a shop coming up for any time soon. Yeah, we're going to lose the 2 gold. He leaves. I gave it my best shot. Because all I could really do is strike. Does 2 damage. And I could block if I wanted to. I could block again. That's all I could do. Because Establishment doesn't do any good yet. And Clumsy is unplayable, ethereal. It would have gone to my exhaust pile there. Okay, go back to neutral, get our 3 energy, 0. And we're going to be at 6 health going into the next area, which is here on the fire. Before we do that, let's go ahead and draw a potion. We have energy potion, gain 2 energy. That would have been helpful last game. And we get to add a card. Got conclude, costs 1 and does an area effect damage of 1 and 1. You can't play additional cards this turn once you play it, so it has to be the last card you play. Retain, costs 2. Or sorry, protect has retain, costs 2 energy, and going to give 3 shield to any player. And then third eye is going to be 2 shield, and you're going to be able to scry 3. And scrying is basically going through that amount of cards, revealing them from your deck. And so you'll look at the next 3 cards in your deck, and you will decide if you want to keep them on your deck, or if you want to discard any number of them. And so that's a good way to get rid of cards that are coming up that you're not going to need that next round. I like the idea of having this retain card, and it's going to give 3 shield. I can make it cheaper if I have the power out that lets me do that. 2 block and being able to scry for even cheaper. It's also not bad. I almost want to say I want to keep this one just to give my power and a reason to exist. But I'm going to go with third eye. It's a little bit more ability for the price there. So we shuffle up our new cards. And now we're here at the campfire. And I have to make a decision if I want to heal back to full health or if I want to upgrade a card. As much as I want to upgrade a card, I hate the fact that I've already lost 3 health. And we're coming up to an elite before much longer. So I think I'm going to heal 3 health. Okay, coming to this monster here. Revealing a cultist, and it's going to spawn in a spike slime. So we're going to look through this deck here until we find the spike slime. There he is. And I'm going to go ahead and move these to right there, so I can use this for my relic area. Okay, so the cultist is going to get 9 health. And it has the ability where it's going to attack for 1 and then strengthen itself. And then the spike slime is going to get 5 health. And it has another one of these things where you roll to see what it's going to do. And it adds a daze to the top of your deck. And so that's something that you want to be aware of, that those are going to clog your deck a little bit, and they immediately go in. So it's immediately an issue. So let's go ahead and start our first round here, rolling the die to see what's going to happen. Rolled a 1, which does nothing for me unless I want to decrease by 1 to a 6 and trigger an ability, which would be to shield. Let's see what they're going to do. So they are going to act last, and they're going to do a damage and add vulnerable. And then this guy is going to do 1 damage, and he is going to strengthen himself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. Start out with my miracle. Let's see what we're going to be able to do. Okay, I kind of have a lot of defend. And my defend and my eruption came up same time again. I'm going to learn from my mistake from last round. Can be taught. Or can I? I may just have to make the same mistake twice. Because I can either just block all turn, which isn't very useful. I need more ways to get out of stances. I'm gonna make the same mistake as last time. I'm not gonna learn. 1, 2. Entering calm. Getting 2 block. And then eruption. Spending the miracle to get the extra energy. Spending the 2 energy. Coming back up 2 because I went from calm to wrath. Gonna do 2 damage. And Colt is gonna keep getting stronger. Let's try and work on him first and foremost. And then I'm just going to defend 2. Just going to go up to 4 defense, which means I'm fine for this round. So what's going to happen here is this guy's going to attack for... Well, first I'm going to lose 1 for being in Wrath. Then he's going to attack 1, and he's going to strengthen, which means he's going to start doing 2 each round, and then 3, and then 4, and so forth. That's why I want to get rid of him fast. This one here is going to attack for 1, and then add vulnerable, which means the next attack on me is going to be doubled. So, let's go ahead and take care of some problems here. Let's roll the die and hope for a 4, 5, or 6. Got a 3. So he's going to do 2 attack on me. Okay, this might work out. I've got Consecrate, which means I'm going to do 2 damage to each of them because of my Wrath. Oh, I got 3 energy to spend. 0 block, because that goes away. I'm going to do Ragnarok for 3. And each target can have a different attack. So let's go 1, 2 is my first attack. 1, 2 is my second attack. Third attack. Fourth attack. Fifth attack. Boom! Ragnarok just saved my life. So... these never have rewards on them, so they just go away. And then the cultist here is going to give me 1 gold, 1 potion, which I just realized I can't hold any more potions. So I have to decide. So you gain strengthen, lose it at the end of the turn. I don't know that I care about this one as much as the others that I have right now. So... just discard that one. And then 3 cards. So this will allow me to get into neutral. That might be something to think about. But I need ways to get out of Wrath. And at times maybe even get out of Calm. Yeah, let's go ahead and do Empty Mind. Because I need to be able to get out of Wrath. That's going to go to neutral. That goes away. And then we come up here and do an event. Bonfire Spirits. You happen upon a group of spirits dancing around a large bonfire. As you approach, they turn to you expectantly. So you offer by removing a card. If it's uncommon, will heal 3 HP. If it's rare, heal to full HP. And if it's a curse, will lose 1 HP. You know what? I am not against losing 1 HP to get rid of a curse. So, boom. Okay, going into the treasure room. We'll just go this way. And in the treasure room, you're going to gain 1 relic. Here I've got calipers. Once per combat, keep your leftover block from the last turn. That could be pretty handy. It's not a bad relic. We're going to shuffle up our deck and come into this elite fight with 8 health. Feeling strong about this one. Okay. Go ahead and start out with 3 energy. We're going to flip an elite. And we are getting Sentries. Summon Sentry A, B, etc. until there's 3 enemies per player. We're going to come to the summons deck. Looking for the Sentries. We got Sentry A. Another Sentry A, and we're going to have Sentry B. That's all we're going to need to summon. So let's just put that one there, and we're going to go A, B, A, like that. Let's go ahead and roll the die. I rolled a 3. And so that one's going to be doing 2 damage. That one's going to be adding a daze, 3 damage, and a daze. 7, 8, 7, and a 7 there. Okay, let's see what's going to happen here. We start out with our miracle, of course. Let's see what we got here. So this came up at a time that's not incredibly helpful. Let's see, they're doing a combined 5 damage to me this round. Let's go ahead and do Third Eye. It's going to cost me 1 energy, and I can scry 3, which is right here. We have Establishment, which still has not gotten a use yet, so I'm going to get rid of that one for sure. Defend and Consecrate. I almost feel like getting rid of the Defend just to do that, but I may wind up needing it. Let's keep these cards. Okay. Okay, so that was my first, and it gave me 2 block. There's no real reason for me to use this card in the moment. 2 to spend. 3 if I use a miracle, which I don't think that's the use for it in the moment. Maybe I just do the 2 block for now. See if I get something better going into next round. Do I want to use a potion? Oh, that's a thought. Actually, let's not do that yet. Let's even keep this out. So I spent 1 so far on Third Eye. Got me 2 of that. Let's go ahead and use Distilled Chaos. Draw 3 cards, immediately play them in any order. In fact, it costs 0. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. I can play them in any order. And they cost 0, so this is going to be 1 defense. Consecrate costs 0 anyway, but it's going to do a damage to everybody. And I do mean everybody because elites are considered in the same row as anybody. That one's going to be a strike, and who needs it worse? Let's try and get rid of Sentry A quickly. So now I've got 3. I can have 5. 3, 4, 5. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that for the rest of that. That was much better. Got to utilize those potions when they're worth utilizing. And then let's go ahead and come over here, and this guy is going to add a daze to my deck. This guy is going to do 1, 2, 3 damage. This guy is going to add a daze. And this guy's going to do 1, 2. All of that was blocked. We survive for another one. Of course, we have 2 of these, though, coming up. Oh, if only I had enough energy to pull this and this off, but I do not. I do not. Well, let's roll and see what happens. 1, which would have them doing 5 damage if they all survive. Or I can make it a 6, and they'll do 6 damage if they're all surviving. Now I'm going to go ahead and trigger... I'm going to use this to make the 1 become a 6, which is going to trigger a die ability, which is going to do itself. It's going to be 1 block. And now they're attacking for 6, but with Ragnarok, I can go ahead and do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This guy's dead. So now they're only attacking for 3. These will go away. And I want to spend... No, I didn't want to spend anything. Okay. So, I have 1 block. Boom. 2, 3. And we're adding 1, 2 these back here. Okay, let's roll the die and see what happens. A 4 just popped up, even though it rolled off where you can't see it. Which means I'm going to get 1 block. And they're going to try to do 3 damage to me. So I'm going to play this one for 1, 2 and enter calm. And that gives me 2 more block. So I have all the block that I need. Let's go ahead and do that strike. And let's kind of keep working on... No, let's not worry about the main boss yet. Because these guys hit harder. Do that. No, wait. Let's do this guy. He's got less health. Okay. So, from the 4, this guy is going to give me that. From the 4, this guy is also going to give me that. And then this guy is going to attack for 3, all blocked. So these are going to be the first 2 cards, and let's see what else I get. The most they can attack me for is 5, and if they keep rolling the higher number, they can only attack for 3, and I'll have 1 innate block each time. So I'm actually hoping for that higher number. Roll and see what happens. 4 again, nice. So I get 1 block. Okay. I'm in calm already, so that's not too terribly helpful. And I don't have really any attack right now. Well, I will do that for 2. I'm staying in calm. And that doesn't do me any good. So I'm going to go ahead and do that for 1 more defend. These go away. And why not? Once per turn once per combat you can keep your leftover block. Because I'm going to have 1 left over. I'm going to, of course, get these 2 to the top of my deck. Okay. So I got some strikes going on. Let's roll and see what happens. 5, so I get 1 more block. Let's do 1, 2 strikes for 2 energy. And a defend. Boom. Might as well just hold on to these because they're going to go right back into my deck. And 1, 2, 3. One is the number. So I could do that if I wanted to. I got a couple defends. I don't like my options yet again. It's gonna be a struggle if I don't do something. So let's go ahead. I'm not gonna enjoy this, but 1, 2. Enter Wrath. Going to spend my miracle to gain an energy. Then I'm going to spend 2 energy to get 2 block. And who's attacking me for the most right now? This guy. Well, it really doesn't matter. So I'm going to do weak potion. Put a weakness, 2 weakness on this guy right here. So I take 1 damage from my wrath. These go away. I'll take 2 damage from this guy. And from this guy I'll take 2 damage as well because of the weakness. So 1, 2. Okay. Oh. I'm supposed to get 1 of these. So, this is what we're looking at. Ragnarok came up. That could be handy. Let's roll the die, see what they're doing, and what I might be doing 3. Okay, let's do Consecrate first because it's free. Get 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. Because of the fact that I am in Wrath. Let's do 1, 2, 1, 2. That was 3, 4, 5. Ragnarok to the rescue. That was spending 3 energy. Boom. But I took 1, 2, 3, 4 hits on that one, so calculated risk going into neutral to be able to finish the game faster. Probably took less damage overall by doing that. It just didn't feel too good to do it in the moment. Okay, so we're going to get 2 coins. And we're going to get one of these, which is the boot. On a 4, 5, or 6, deal 1 damage. Let's reload all those things. In fact, I'm going to move that out of the way so I can kind of have 2 rows here. And we also, of course, do 3 cards, choose 1. Cut Through Fate, 1 attack, scry 2, draw 1 card. So you can kind of look, get rid of anything that's in the way that you might want to draw. 1 attack, if you're in Wrath, they're going to get vulnerable. Can only be played if this is the only attack card in your hand. Does 6 damage, costs 2. Problem is you have to get rid of any attack cards before you even play that. I like the ability to get 1 more card, and you can even look and see if you like the 2 cards that are on top. And yeah, let's do that. I was tempted to get this for the vulnerable. I mean, it'd be 2 damage because of the fact you're in Wrath, and vulnerable if you're in Wrath. This one's a little too... I like it, but that condition there, can't always use it. Okay, let's move on to the fireplace, and I am actually going to go ahead and heal 1, 2, 3. I haven't upgraded any cards yet. Taking too much damage. And I want to get to this shop, so let's go this way. Cultist, and he's going to bring in a green louse. Green louse. And the green louse has a special ability called Curl Up. The first time it takes damage, it's going to get 2 block, and then after that, nothing's going to happen. Of course, it only has 3 health, and this one has 9 health. Roll the die. Got a 4. So I'm going to get 1 block. And they are going to weaken is all they're going to do, so that's not too bad. I got Ragnarok first thing. Let's go ahead and Ragnarok out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go ahead and spend our miracle to do Third Eye, which is going to give me... Oh wait, no, I don't need to do that. Let's not do that then. Well, I am going to spend the miracle. Because I want to strike. Do 1 damage to this guy. He's going to gain his 2 block. Then he's going to lose it for next turn. That's a decent use of a miracle. Okay, this guy is going to do 1 attack. Oh. Also on a 4, I get to do this, so let's... Actually, no, let's go ahead and do that for that, and not spend the miracle yet. Let's not spend the miracle. Because I did the damage with this thing instead of the strike. I gotta keep an eye on these things. Okay, not bad. 5, which is gonna give me the innate block, and I get to deal 1 damage. Oh, I forgot to resolve their stuff. Block 1, get that. And then he's gonna add a weakness to me. So now I get 1 block for the die roll. I'm gonna do 1, these are gonna go away. Do 1 damage to the green louse. And then let's go ahead and consecrate. Do 1 more damage to that, 1 damage to that. I'm at 3 energy. I keep forgetting to reset the energy. He's gonna try to do 2 damage to me this turn. So let's go ahead and defend for 1. Attack for 1. So that's gonna go away and actually do nothing. And I guess we'll defend for 1 because I don't have anything except establishment in my hand. But I can use this to keep my block. He's going to do 1, 2. So he did 2 to me. And I have 1 block that I'm going to keep for next round. And this guy's dead. I just like to flip those over so you know they're gone. Okay. Oh, he gets another one of these. Now he's going to attack for 3 if he's able to. I'm going to do some crazy stuff. I'm going to go to Calm for 2 and get 2 shield. And then I'm going to do a Miracle to get an energy. I'm going to do Eruption, spending 2, going up to there. That's going to come back up. I did 1, 2 damage to that guy. And then I can strike for the rest. And he's done. Boom. Cultist is going to give me 1 of these. And card reward. 2, 3. And so this one is going to give 1 block and a miracle token. This one's going to give me, is going to deal 3 damage to 1 or 2 enemies. And this is going to be deal 2 damage, enter Wrath, put this card on top of your draw pile. So you can kind of keep spinning that tantrum, keep having that tantrum. That's kind of fun. I'm going to take Carve Reality though. I don't know, or do I need the ability to get more miracles? You know, I'm going to get Prostrate. Because I need the miracles, I think. Now we're going to have our first market. And so we're going to show you how this market works. Let's put this board up over here. We're going to place out potions. Here, here, and here. Put out the relics here. And this one's going to be 1 cheaper. So our options are to buy these relics, to buy these potions. One time you can pay 3 to remove a card, and you can buy cards for 2, 3, or 6, depending on their rarity. So you're going to take 3 from the top of this card reward deck here. And we see here that this one is blue, so it's going to cost 3. This one is gray, so it's going to cost 2. This one is blue, so it'll cost 3. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to spend. So once per turn, you can retain any number of cards. It's going to cost all my money if I do that. On a 2, you block 2. On a 4, you'll deal 2 damage. This one here is when you rest, you may also remove a card. Oh, that'd be handy, but I can't quite afford it. I'm 1 short if that guy hadn't robbed me. Ooh, Ghost in a Jar. You can't lose more than 1 HP this round. That could be a savior right there. But it'd be pretty much the only thing I'm doing unless I want to buy Crescendo, which isn't bad. It's retain, enter Wrath, and you exhaust it, and it's free to do. What's its upgrade? Retain, enter Wrath, you draw 1 card and exhaust it. So basically, enter Wrath whenever you want to, and doesn't really clog your deck once you upgrade it. This one is attack 2, gain block equal to the unblocked damage dealt. That's handy because you're doing an attack, and I can't afford that and the potion though. We're about to go up against the boss. Now I really wish I could afford Peace by... Oh wait, no, because it's still too expensive. 2, 4, 6. I'm 1 short, even with the discount. That Ghost in the Jar seems like it could be a lifesaver. Okay. I'm going to buy Ghost in a Jar. And I'm going to buy Crescendo because why not? Okay, all these go away. And we move up to the fire. And I'm going to go ahead and upgrade. I know I'm 2 health down. Who am I facing? I can't remember what this guy does. Oh, the slime boss. Oh, I like to upgrade Eruption just because of the fact that it becomes cost 1, which makes it more viable. But I also have Ragnarok do when you upgrade it. It adds 1 extra attack. actually isn't that solid of an ad. Crescendo could become drawing a card. I think I am going to do Eruption. Well, let's see what is this one? Empty Mind. Just draw 3 cards. I'm not that worried about drawing an extra card. I'm going to do Eruption. Here's the reason why. Is it costs 2 energy right now. If you turn it over, it becomes 1 energy. And so often when you need to use 2 energy to enter Wrath, it kind of limits what you can do after entering Wrath. But with 1 energy, you can get a little bit more done. That might be worth it. Okay, the Slime Boss is going to get this cube here. And it's going to get 22 health because we're playing solo. If we're playing 2-player, it would have been 44, 66 for 3-player, and 88 for 4 players. And then it has an ability, Split. On death, at the start of the next round, we'll summon in a large slime, acid slime, and spike slime in that order from the summon deck for each player. I almost wanted to upgrade Consecrate, because then it would do 2 damage to each of those at that time. But I'll upgrade that one later. Right now I wanted to make Wrath a little cheaper to get into. Oh, and Wrath came up first, or the Eruption came up first. Okay, actually this is really good. This is a really good turn. He's not attacking me this turn. All he's doing is adding slimes to my deck. And so what I'm actually going to do... Oh, I'm tempted to do that. So I'm going to get this. Let me see. So I have 2... No, there's no point in doing that, actually. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do Eruption for 1. And it's going to do 2 damage. Oh, that doesn't go there. We have to get this out. 22. We're going to do 2 damage to him to start out with. And then we're going to enter Wrath. And then I'm going to spend my Miracle to then get an energy so I can play Ragnarok for 3 energy. And I'm going to do 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Boom. Just did 12 damage with 2 cards. So I am going to take a damage. Oh, I didn't roll the die. Maybe I won't take a damage. Oh, this is back. I won't take a damage because I get 1 block. Nice. So, boom. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. To my discard pile. And moves down. Oh, what else does 5 do? 5 also does 1 damage. Okay. So I got my Crescendo, which I can retain if I need to, but not really a whole lot I can do with it actually in the moment. Just play this. It's going to get me a Miracle and a health for 1 block. Or for 1 energy. No, I haven't rolled a die. 4 is going to do 1 damage and give me a block. Let's go ahead and defend for 1 more. Do strike for 1, 2. And I think that's all I'm going to do this turn. I could spend this to do 2 more damage to it. That is tempting because I might be able to kill it next turn if I do that. Then again, saving that over might be more useful next turn. No, I'm gonna hold off. This gets retained. So it's I'm gonna take 1 damage for that at the end of my turn because I'm still in Wrath. And then 1, 2, 3 for its attack, and it's gonna add 2 more slimes. Draw back up. I get 5 cards plus my retain card here. So I have 6 cards starting this round. And it's going to do 6 damage if it's still alive, so let's make it not alive. Let's go ahead and I'm going to play Strike for 1 energy. It'll be 1, 2, because I'm in Wrath. Play another Strike. It'll be 2. I'm a little stuck here, so let's play Empty Mind. I'm going to go to neutral and draw 2 cards. Defend and Cut Through Fate. So now I'm out of energy. Cut Through Fate can do 1 damage and scry 2, draw a card. So let's go ahead, spend the miracle to go up 1, doing 1 damage because I'm now in neutral. And then I can scry 2. I don't know how this works with having to reshuffle. I guess I just scry the 1. Oh, that works. So I'm going to draw Consecrate, which is going to do the final damage I need to this guy. So he is gone. All of my energy has been spent. I get to retain this card, and all these ones go away. And of course, on death, at the start of the next round, we're going to be summoning a large slime, acid slime, and spike slime. So, shuffle this up. I've got a lot of slime in my deck now. So we need a large slime, an acid slime, and a spike slime. There we go. Most unfortunate that I had to use that Consecrate to get rid of the slime boss, because that would have been really good this round. Now it's in here somewhere. Let's draw back up. Oh, and this, I was neutral, so I didn't need the block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. So my hand is Crescendo, Prostrate, Defend, Establishment, and Strike. Let's roll the die. This guy is gone. We got a 1, means they'll do 6 damage if they're still alive. Or if I make it a 6, they'll do 3 damage and I'll get a block. That is sounding like a good idea right now. So yeah, let's go ahead and spend this to make it a 6. I'm going to deal 1 damage because of this. I'll figure out that in a second. And I get a block because of that. Now, who do I want to damage? I think I'm going to go after the spike slime to get rid of it quicker. Or should I go after the acid slime? 2 and 4. This one attacks more, so I'm going to go after the acid slime. Although, this one's attacking this round. Let me see. Can I get rid of one this turn? I actually can't get rid of anything this turn. Yeah, let's go ahead and do the acid slime for the damage there. And they're going to do 3 damage to me this round. So let's go ahead and do this. It's going to give me a block and a miracle. So I do have a strike. So doom, doom. And a defend. So boom, boom. So they are going to do, start here. It's going to do 1 damage and add 2 weakness. That's not fun. Then move on here, going to add another weakness. Then going to come here and he's going to do 2 damage. And those go away. So that's not fun at all. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Roll the die. 2. Which means 4, 5, 6, 7 is going to add that. Ugh. I don't like what's going to go on this round. Let's do this. It's going to cost me 1 energy. Let's draw 2 cards. I'm already in neutral. If I do that, I can get rid of all my weakness. So let's go ahead and spend the miracle to go to 3. I got Ragnarok came out in that draw. And so I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 attacks. The first attack is going to get rid of one of these. Second attack is going to get rid of another one. Third attack is going to get rid of the third one. And I have 2 attacks left. So I can do 1, 2 like that. And I think all I'm going to do in this moment is I'm going to tap and get rid of Ghost in a jar so I can't lose more than 1. Well, let me see, how much am I going to lose? I'm going to lose 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Going to get rid of Ghost in a Jar. I was right. That was going to save my life. I can't lose more than 1 this round. And so... Actually, no, wait. Let's call this all back. Okay, so here's where I was. I was at 3. Just occurred to me. I can't lose more than 1 anyway this round. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do, actually. Better idea. So I spent the miracle to get back up to 3. I'm going to play Crescendo for 0. I enter Wrath. Then I play Ragnarok. 1, 2... Wait. 1, 2, 3. Losing the 3 weakness, but doing 2, 4, 6. So basically 3. And then 1, 2 more, so I can do 1, 2. 1, 2. So basically the weakness and the Wrath canceled out for the first 3 attacks. Got rid of the Acid Slime, and then the Spike Slime there is down to 1 health. And then I'm going to use Ghost in the Jar to not lose more than 1 HP this round. Just like that, because I lost the 1 for that, and then everything they do doesn't matter. So this guy does no damage to me. This guy is dead. And then this guy is going to do no damage to me. Then I'm going to get that. That was the best way to handle that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And then I got these 2 cards in my hand, which if I had energy, I could spend it to exhaust. But since I don't, they'll go over here. And then get rid of all these other cards. Roll the die for the new round. 5. Gonna give me one of those and do 1 damage. He's gone. And now I just got 1 person to worry about here. Consecrate came up right after I killed. Actually, no, wait, let's not do 1 damage to him. Let's do 1 damage to this guy. Because Consecrate is now going to kill that guy and do 1, 2 damage. Okay. He's attacking for 5. Or he's attacking on 5, so he's doing 1 and 2 weakness. Let's do 1 energy to spend to do a strike here. 1, 2. I guess I can do this one. For 1 energy, I get 2 block, and I can scry 3. So let's take a look at these. Huh. You know what I'm doing with those? I'm tossing them all. Okay. And then might as well go ahead and do this for my final energy, because all I had else was to defend. I go ahead and enter Calm. And I'm going to go ahead and once per turn... Once per combat, I mean keep your leftover block from last turn. So he's going to do 1 damage to me. I'm going to be drawing these 2 cards up. He'll give me 2 weakness. Oh, he does 2 damage to me actually, because that was doubled. So my new hand is going to be those 2 cards plus whatever I draw here. Okay. Not bad. I kept my block because of the relic there that I used. I don't have to worry about him attacking me. 6, which means I get 1 more block and do 1 damage. I can do, let me see. Oh, I can enter Wrath, which means 1, 2 damage. Go into Wrath. Oh, that costs 1, and I get 2 back because I exited Calm. I can spend 1 to do Strike, which is 1, 2. I can spend 0 to do this one for 2. 1, 2. And he's dead. Boom. Oh, wait, no, he's not dead because I forgot about these things. 1 and 1 because my first 2 attacks... those things. So it's not quite there yet. I can spend 1 to eliminate that from my deck, And I can spend 1 to get even more defense. He's not exactly attacking me for a lot. He's just doing that. And I get 2 of these. But then I have to lose all this great shield that I had built up. Okay. So let's see what he's going to do. 5. I get to do 1 damage. I get 1 shield. And then I'm just going to do... Ooh. Oh, I forgot to take the block off from my Wrath, but I had plenty of block there for that. So I'm going to do 1 attack with Ragnarok. It's going to go down 1, and he's dead. There we go. Now he's dead. And we get 3 gold. We get... Let's get these out of the way here. So we gain a boss relic. Just Sozu here. Start of turn, gain an energy. You can't gain potions. Oh my. No more potions for me. And then we get to do a gold card. Reveal 3. Choose 1. So this one here, at start of turn, you get a miracle. It's a power card. Wish, you can choose 1, gain strength, 10 shield, or 4 miracles, then exhaust it. And this one is discard all cards without retain, draw 5 cards, gain 3 energy. I'm not going to do that because I don't have enough retain cards. I think Wish sounds pretty good because there's a few different options I can use it for. It does cost a lot though. Add that to my deck. Now we get rid of any of the status cards that were added to our deck. Just like that. And we can go into Act 2 at this point. But of course, this is going to be the end of our video for now, but just go over what's going to happen. You're going to heal back to full health. Then you're going to get rid of all of this, and you're going to reveal Act 2, and you'll do the setup as you did for Act 1. I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's showing you how to play this game, and be on the lookout for if I go ahead and post Act 2 and 3. And as always, I hope you have a great week, and game on.